Hey guys, hope you're all doing well. Now for today's video, I wanted to talk about something from Jurassic Park 3. Today, I wanted to open up a discussion on how Ben Hildebrand died on Isla Sorna. So before I even begin this video, I need to say this right off the bat. The answer as to how Ben Hildebrand died has technically been answered. It was never given in any sort of official concrete canonized material, but there is indeed an answer nonetheless. That being said, many people have tried to speculate and theorize how this grown man was somehow unable to survive the descent into Site B. This is mainly due to the fact that the much smaller and less adept Eric Kirby was easily able to get away from the fall with minimal injuries. There are also a number of weird and kind of unexplained things that happened to the corpse of Ben that we don't really have any answers for either. For starters, my good friend Jeremy James Prechik did a video a while back detailing all of these irregularities surrounding Ben Hildebrand's death, such as the body being stripped clean of flesh in less than 8 weeks, or the fact that the man's legs have actually been ripped off of his torso, or the fact that he actually swings down from the trees despite the camera footage shown just seconds earlier depicting his location being much closer to the ground when they actually fell. Now honestly, there is no answer to any of these questions, guys. We can speculate all we want to about how all of this stuff happened to the man, but at the end of the day, there isn't really any serious evidence to support the exact details on how his body got to this state. So I really don't want to focus on that. What I do want to draw your attention to, however, are two sources from the Jurassic Park 3 era that actually heavily allude to how Ben died. And the first source that I want to go over today is actually what's left of the Jurassic Park 3 shooting script. Now, I say what's left because, as many of you already know, JP3 was kind of written on the fly while they were already filming, which is why a lot of stuff that happens in the movie doesn't really make the most sense, and it can kind of contradict itself at times when I don't think it was really trying to. Nevertheless, if we actually take a look at the scene where Alan Grant and the others come across the Dinosaur parasail, we're given a lot of clues as to how Ben wasn't able to survive his time on the island. In the script, as soon as Eric and Ben plunge into the jungle canopy, their bodies were thrown around the tops of several trees, breaking branches while they fell. After one final lurch, the descent was over, and the two of them found themselves only 10 feet above Site B ground. Ben Hildebrand actually asks Eric if he's okay during this recorded footage, but the writers leave a pretty blatant detail about his own personal condition that I think a lot of people have overlooked. The script reads, "There's gurgling to his voice. Ben may be more hurt than he's letting on." After that, Ben unhooks Eric and continues to talk to the boy, trying to reassure him. His last line of dialogue is noted as being even weaker than it was before. "We're going to get out of this, pal." And on that, the power and picture fade away. So judging by what clues we can gather from the actual shooting script, it looks like Ben took a lot more damage than Eric did during the fall onto Site B. With his body being bigger than the young boy's, it's not very hard to assume that most of the broken branches and hard impact into the canopy was actually absorbed by him and him alone. This leads the reader on to believe that Ben didn't actually get killed by any sort of dinosaur on the island, but that he actually just died from the injuries that he'd received during the fall. But before we actually go and commit fully to what's in the script, I think we should take a look at one more piece of JP3 material, and that would be the non-canon tie-in book called Jurassic Park Survivor. In this short novella, Eric Kirby describes the fall himself in the following words: "I remembered going down into the trees. Branches ripping at us like claws. Crashing, screaming, tearing. I remember hanging there, Ben telling me everything was going to be alright. Then looking at him and knowing that wasn't true. He'd been injured in the fall. Badly injured. He told me it would be alright again. He smiled, then he got quiet. Even though his eyes didn't close, I knew he wasn't with me anymore." So that second piece of material right there kind of answers this question pretty decisively. Even though Jurassic Park 3 shows us that there were a number of odd and perplexing things that happened to the man's body, if we actually go off of evidence that was supposed to be taken into consideration by the filmmakers, this stuff is in the script, guys, it really looks like Ben Hildebrand simply died from injuries that he'd sustained in the crash. And unless we get a different answer, this is really the only honest thing that I personally think we can say happened to him. Now before I go, I'd like to thank all of my game wardens, as well as all of my InGen executives. I'd also like to thank all of my park workers and InGen hunters as well. Guys, it seriously means the world to me that you all continue to support what I do, and I never want you to ever forget that. Now I'd like to thank all of you for watching today's video, and hope that you all enjoyed the content. If you feel like I deserve it, I'd appreciate the like and hope that you'll consider subscribing if you're interested in hearing from me again. I'll see you all in the next video, guys, and as always, take it easy.